It is footy here. We recently witnessed the impossible dreams of underdogs taking the world by storm, but what if I told you that the next great World Cup epic is about redemption? What if I told you about a footballing giant that fell, stumbled, but is now roaring back with a vengeance? Forget the European heavyweights for a second. Forget the South American dynasties. This year, the drums are beating from the heart of West Africa. We are talking about a nation that carries the weight and pride of an entire continent on its shoulders. We are talking about the Black Stars of Ghana. After a roller coaster of heartbreak, internal turmoil, and missing out on AFCON 2025, the script has been completely rewritten. A shock managerial change, a new tactical mastermind, and a squad of Premier League stars ready to unleash havoc in North America. Let's dive in. Before we can look to Toronto in 2026, we must understand the legacy. The nickname Black Stars isn't just a catchy football moniker. It is a profound symbol of African unity and emancipation, drawing its roots from Marcus Garvey's Black Star line. When these players put on that iconic red jersey with the single black star, they aren't just representing 33 million Ghanaians. They are representing the spirit of Africa. In the early days, Ghana wasn't just a participant. They were the undisputed kings of the continent. They established an era of dominance, capturing 4 Africa Cup of Nations titles in 1963, 1965, 1978, and 1982. These were the years that forged the legends. We are talking about the maestro himself, Abedi Pele, dancing through defenses, the sheer, unadulterated power of Tony Yeboah breaking the net, the absolute gladiator, Sami Kufur, dominating at Bayern Munich and carrying that same ferocity to the national team. They laid the foundation. They built the cathedral of Ghanaian football. But the World Cup, that was a stage that eluded them for too long. Everything changed in 2006. Germany. The Black Stars made their historic debut with the youngest squad in the tournament, and they didn't just show up, they smashed their way into the round of 16. But 2010. 2010 in South Africa is where the Black Stars etched their names into the souls of every football fan on earth. They reached the quarterfinals carrying the hopes of the entire African continent. We all remember it. The 120th minute against Uruguay, the Luis Suarez handball, the penalty that hit the crossbar. It was an iconic, shattering moment of heartbreak. Yet, Asamoah Gyan emerged as a global icon, scoring 6 World Cup goals in his career and proving that Ghana belonged at the absolute pinnacle of the sport. But football is a cruel mistress. The 2014 campaign in Brazil was marred by internal turmoil, off-pitch disputes, and a heartbreaking group stage exit. In 2022, despite a brilliant, spirited resurgence and a thrilling victory over South Korea, consistency remained the ghost haunting the Black Stars. Which brings us to the road to North America. After the devastating blow of missing out on AFCON 2025, the Ghanaian media was ruthless. The fans demanded answers. Redemption was no longer an option. It was a requirement. Ghana was placed in Group 1, and the campaign was a cinematic masterpiece of resilience. June 2024, Bamako, a grueling, suffocating match against Mali. The score is tied. The clock is bleeding into stoppage time. 94th minute, the ball falls to the veteran captain, Jordan Ayew. Boom! A 94th minute winner that silenced the stadium and kept the World Cup dream alive. March 2025, a ruthless, terrifying display of attacking power as they absolutely thrashed Chad 5-0, reminding the continent of their lethal potential. But it all came down to October 2025, the final day of qualifying against Comoros. Ghana needed a hero. And who answered the call? The Starboy himself, Mohammed Kudus. He slots home the lone goal in a nail-biting 1-0 victory to officially punch Ghana's ticket to the 2026 World Cup. But hold on, footy fans. Just when you thought the ship was sailing smoothly, chaos. In March 2026, following deeply disappointing friendly losses to Austria and Germany, the Ghana Football Association pulled the trigger. Otto was dismissed just months before the World Cup. Enter the veteran, the tactician, the ultimate tournament survivor, Carlos Queiroz. At 73 years old, Queiroz steps into his fifth consecutive World Cup tournament as a manager. The GFA appointed him on a short-term contract with one specific vital mission: fix the leaks, bring tactical discipline, turn this squad of flair players into an impenetrable fortress. Let's do a deep dive into exactly how Queiroz is going to set this team up for their opening match against Panama. Queiroz is famous for his defensive organization and suffer without the ball mentality. We expect him to ditch the expansive, open style of the past. Against Panama, Ghana will likely line up in a nominal 4-3-3, but out of possession, it will instantly morph into a suffocating, incredibly narrow 4-5-1. Queiroz will demand that the wingers, especially Semenyo, drop deep to protect the fullbacks. The midfield trio will sit right on top of the defensive line, daring Panama to break them down. Mohammed Kudus will be the absolute bedrock of that defense, ensuring zero space between the lines. But when Ghana wins the ball, lightning transitions. Queiroz wants to bypass the midfield buildup and utilize the explosive pace of his Premier League superstars. It will be ruthless, pragmatic, and designed to secure 3 points at all costs. And to execute this masterclass, Queiroz has the ultimate weapon, the Big Three. Antoine Semenyo, Manchester City. Yes, the man is currently the most prolific winger in the squad. After a blockbuster move, he has been tearing up the Premier League, recording an insane 17 goals and 5 assists in the 2025-26 season. He brings power, pace, and clinical finishing to the flanks. Mohammed Kudus, Tottenham Hotspur. The creative engine, the wizard. After scoring the decisive qualifying goal against Comoros, Kudus remains the absolute central figure in Ghana's attack. Whether he is operating as a 10 or drifting in from the right, his ability to break lines and unleash thunderous shots is world-class. Jordan Ayew, Leicester City. The veteran, the captain. Ayew has been the undisputed hero of the qualifiers, finishing as the top scorer with 7 goals. His experience, hold-up play, and leadership are the glue holding this dynamic attack together. The stage is set. The expanded 48-team format means more opportunities, but Group L is a massive, massive test. Mark your calendars. June 17th, 2026, Toronto, Canada. The Black Stars open their campaign against Panama. This is the must-win. This is where the Queiroz Masterclass must deliver 3 points. Because after Panama, it is a clash of the Titans. They face the 3 Lions of England and the relentless midfield maestros of Croatia. To survive Group L, Ghana is aiming to draw inspiration from Morocco's heroic 2022 run. They don't just want to participate. They want to exceed their 2010 quarterfinal achievement. But tactical discipline is nothing without heart, and the heart of this team beats to the rhythm of youth and unity. Never forget, Ghana's current DNA was forged in 2009 when they became the first African team to win the U20 World Cup. That legacy of fearless youth continues today, with incredible new talents being integrated straight from European academies and the Ghanaian Premier League. And if you check their social media, the vibes are immaculate. The locker room atmosphere is electric. When you see them in those iconic red jerseys dancing, singing, and united under the Black Star, you know you are looking at a family. Queiroz might bring the discipline, but the players bring the soul. Can the Black Stars survive the gauntlet of Group L? Will the Carlos Queiroz Masterclass be the missing piece of the puzzle that takes Ghana beyond the quarterfinals? The world has learned never to count out the heart of Africa, and the Black Stars are responding with a roar that will echo from Accra all the way to Toronto. Tell me what you think in the comments. How far will Ghana go in 2026? Who is going to be the breakout star of this tournament? Semenyo, Kudus, or someone else? Smash that like button and subscribe to join the Footy family for more epic World Cup previews. Until next time, stay football crazy. This is Footy signing off. Bye.